But anyway, getting
a lot has
Twitter,
been going on Twitter this week.
I know I've been rambling about
because I saw all the Twitter blue stuff, but that was the only stuff that I saw.
But yeah, I've been seeing that. Well, I mean, everyone's been seeing that. I think it's all week. People, I guess, who work in Twitter, I'm going to say all around the world. I think I'm paraphrasing. I think it was definitely the UK and America. So I'm going to say all globally, and you make from that what you will. But people globally have either not been able to like log on to like their Twitter work network or like been into the building, and that's the way they've been finding out they've been fired. And like obviously they're upset, and people are on the, like talking about like how crazy that is. And I thought to myself, wow, what is the best way to know that you're fired? Because I personally have never been fired, or I've never been fired, I've never been made redundant. It's just not happened to me, and hopefully it won't happen to me. But I've never experienced that. So I thought, I don't know what I would think is the best way to be fired. Definitely not face to face, because I feel like then I might be like a little volatile. But yeah, I don't know. What in your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I've been at the firing line a few times,
but not from your own will though. Like not because you're like a bad employee.
Well, I was going to clear that up.
Okay. Oh, sorry. No, I'm just asking.
You wanted to make sure. Of course, never on performance or attitude. It's been more like a redundancy thing. But first, I was going to say, I think it's like a tech thing at the moment, because a lot of like techs and the social media have been laying lots of people off.
Yeah, Facebook about
like Meta, and I think Snap. It's just lots of different people.
Like
but
11,000 people they're going to cut.
It's like, I don't understand what's going on, because they were such strong.
They say text where the money is.
What was that sound?
Oh, it's my foot on this
bag. Oh, God of mercy, that scared me.
What do you mean? It's like
I thought, no, it was like a rustling. I thought like there was something was coming after me. You see the fear in my eyes.
Don't be scared.
That scared me. Okay, well, now that I know what it is, I won't be scared.
Okay,
Sorry.
so now I've moved my foot now. Go on.
Anyway, yeah, so there's just a lot going on. But yeah, so I have been I hate to call it fired, because as I said, it wasn't like a performance or anything like that. It was more of a redundancy thing. Although both times when I've been quote unquote made redundant, I didn't qualify for any redundancy package. So it really, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
some people get that severance package and they can.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why some people don't mind being made redundant, because they're getting a big payout or whatever. I have never been made redundant and made it to the big payout. So it's just like,
what's the time you've got to put in for the payout?
You have to, each company is different.
Ooh,
so most companies, or
tricky.
in all the companies I've been in, the redundancy, to qualify for the redundancy package, you have to be employed. I think it's like 2 years, or sometimes it's 3 years or whatever. I've always been like close to 2 years or a year and a bit. Like I've never made it past a certain year. And it's only because my specific department that I work in within industries, if there's a redundancy, I'm like a luxury to have. They're gonna cut me first. So that's just what happens. But the point is, I've yet to make it to a redundancy package when I'm put on the redundancy line, so I absolutely hate it. But in regards to the best way to tell people, I don't know if there's ever a good way to tell someone that they're about to lose their job.
That is true.
And so there's like a low blow. I think my first time was the worst time, and I'll be clear about that. I'm trying to speak about this vaguely. I was doing like a session, like a workshop.
Yeah.
And so I had a workshop that morning with some other staff, and before I'd come in, my manager at the time came in and was like, "Oh, don't do the full workshop. Go until about lunchtime, and I'm gonna come in and take over from you." So I was like, "Okay. Why? You know, ¿por qué? Why?"
You know what I mean? Like,
and then she was like, no, we got like, they need to have like a meeting with you later or whatever, you know. And I was like, about what? And she was like, we can't really speak about it, but whoever's gonna have the meeting with you can speak to you. But I'm so naive, because first of all, this is my first proper job out of uni. I don't even really know what I don't even know what redundancy really even is, because I haven't been working in an actual professional environment. Like, I haven't been working, do you know what I mean? I don't even do retail before uni, so it's just like I didn't know. So when they're saying this, I didn't think it was a bad thing. So I was upbeat like all day, like enjoying my day.
I feel like that's even better than like stomach churning tense.
Well, this is the thing. Then I get to a break in my session. This is before the lunch when we're meant to swap, and somebody else who was I wouldn't say on my team, but like this was happening to a few other people, text me saying, I'm going into a meeting this afternoon, it's not going to be good. And I said, no, like, I'm going to a meeting this afternoon, like, it's all good money, basically. And then she was like, no, she thinks that we're going to, like, be let go. And I'm thinking, like, what are you talking about? Horrible. But at that point, like, you know me, you know, like, I really don't be listening to people like that, especially when I feel like they're giving me negative vibes. I'm just kind of like, I'm living my life like it's golden. Like, you'll see what happens. Like, I'll just see what it is when I get there. I'm not trying to be in anything before that. Anyway, so anyway, should we swap over? We get there. The girl who texted me is in the same meeting as me. So I walk through the door and I see her sit down. So I'm thinking, why is my girl here? I thought this is like a one-to-one. Yes, you know what I mean?
I'm having a one-to-one meeting.
Because this meeting's not with my manager, but it's with my manager's manager and also somebody else in like the senior leadership team. So I'm sitting there looking at everyone thinking, what's going on? I come in there, good vibes, like, hey, like, what's up? Like, basically, sit down. I'm still upbeat, smile. Then all of a sudden, the tone changes. And they're like, the atmosphere, you know, like, this is that. And when blah, 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 you have to let people go. Literally, and I couldn't even hold it back. I immediately just was like floods of tears. Like I could not stop crying. And it wasn't that I was sobbing like, it was just I was sitting there silently and the tears were just, don't go chasing waterfalls. It was flowing down my face.
Well, when you came home.
Yeah, because I was distraught. I was like, and this was all happening like early December, weeks before Christmas. Christmas is an expensive time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, Christmas is an expensive time. It's the end of the year, so it's not like people are specifically recruiting in December from what I'd known at that time. So I'm thinking like, what the heck on Eckington? And I remember coming home, being distraught. I remember I didn't even go into work, I think, for the next few days because I was so distraught while they were deciding what they were going to do with me. And at that point, I'd only been at the company for just over a year and a couple of months. So they were like, oh, if we're going to let you go, we can only pay you your notice, which is a month's notice. So I thought, okay, well, that does me for a month, but I'm just fresh out of uni. I don't have any savings. It was a mess.
That's correct. I think we're also trying to save to like move it out.
Not that year. This was before that.
Okay, sorry. You must have worked in this company a long time.
I worked in that company for a very long time. Okay, anyway, I was not happy about the whole thing. Anyway, long story short is they ended up letting a bunch of other people go, but they let me stay. But it was like 2.5 weeks of every day them saying maybe we'll let you go, or like it was like it's gonna happen or not gonna happen. I do remember some days I wasn't going in, some days I was going in, and I was so emotional, crying at death because it's like I'm in and out every day. You know, not telling me. Then they tell me that I have the job, and they might tell me that I have the job on the Thursday. Basically, the Friday I didn't come in. And then they wanted me to be like upbeat on the Monday. And I'm thinking, are you crazy? Sorry, you've just traumatized me for weeks on end. And you want me to be okay? Then the chick to ask me if I'm coming to the Christmas party at the end of the week. I thought to myself, is everybody here mentally well? For 3 weeks, you've basically told me I'm not going to have a job and that you're just going to tell me at the flip of a hat or whatever. And now you want me to come to a Christmas party and be all smiles. And I remember being like, I'm not going. Like, are you crazy? And then one of the basically SLT came to me the day before and was like, it's really important you should be there because blah 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 morale. And I honestly was like, I don't feel in the mood to go. I feel basically traumatized about what has happened to me. Anyway, long story short, I ended up going because out of all the pressure that was put on me, but I didn't even stay long because I thought, I can't be fake. I'm not going to do all the smiling, all of that crap. And there was some other melee that happened at that party where I was just like, my ass needs to go. Oh, so that's a story for another day. So after that, the second time, which is a more short-winded, it was COVID. I already thought it was coming. It was COVID.
I remember.
Most of the company had been put on furlough. I said, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, furlough was gateway to
yeah, exactly. So COVID happened. All of a sudden I got furlough. As soon as I got put on furlough, I started looking for another job. And so when they told me they were letting me go, maybe like the day before I got my job. And so my notice was basically like my notice, and I didn't get any redundancy pay, and then I moved on to my next job. So that was it. So that one was fine. But the first time was horrible. There's no good way, especially at this time of year. So I do feel for the Twitter people, but locking somebody out is crazy.
Listen, like I said, I've never experienced it, so I don't know what those emotions were. Obviously, when you were going through it secondhand, it felt very.
It was strong. It was stressful.
Strong. I remember that the first is you coming home, and it was nothing but crying. There's nothing no one could do. But like that's imagine like that's when you're young, you come out of university. If I'm with a family, I got other people that I'm responsible for, like husband and kids or whatever. Listen, that pressure must be even worse to be told that you're let go. Like. I don't know if it's ever a good time to tell someone you're gonna let go, especially if you're not getting a redundancy package. If you're not giving me some time to buy, like if you're saying, okay, we're gonna let you go, but I'm gonna give you 3 months pay, then okay, I'm thinking, okay, I got 3 months, I gotta put A, B, C together. But if I'm just going and it's just one month, most jobs, like on average, you told me it takes like 6 months to get a job or longer, innit?
Yeah.
So
about 6 months.
Exactly. So what's that gonna do for me?
Nothing.
Absolutely not, and not in this cost of living, honey.
But you know, redundancy pays, they're more than 3 months pay. Like you get, I can't remember some people's packages, but I was speaking to someone the other day, and I think they were saying like, if he left his company at that time, he was getting X amount of grand. So they don't even do it on like a month; they do it on like a whole like lump sum of money. So that's why it's like I've never made it to redundancy. I don't want to ever make it. I mean, I'd like to be in a company long enough that if they did need to let me go, I got a package, but I don't want to get on the redundancy line ever again. But Elon's moving mad.
I don't think in the line of work that I do, I don't think there'd be nothing.
I don't think so. I hate to say it, beloved.
No,
I think
that's
it to the road. But I do think in your industry,
it's more stability.
You could possibly find another job a bit sooner, don't you think, or no?
Yeah, if I want to do the same thing that I was doing, I think it's like easier to be able to like get another job.
Yeah. Versus
but still, as I said, I don't wish people to be fired or no one redundancy or no one.
Especially this time of year, man.
This time of year is horrible.
And I feel sorry because
like Friday's coming up, you want to hit the sales, Christmas.
Yeah, because we feel like
New Year's as well.
Yeah, because we obviously have like Christmas, but the Americans obviously have like Thanksgiving, and then they've got Christmas.